What is up, you guys? It is your boy Phoenix Brenton here, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we are going to be doing the last team of the series, the AFC East. And this series actually went by a lot quicker than I initially thought it was going to go. Honestly, I thought that I would have had to eventually rush them all in and stuff like that, which, to be granted, I kind of already did had to. But I thought I had to upload them every single day of the week. No, I didn't have to, surprisingly, which is kind of nice. But before we get in today's video, like and subscribe. We are on the road to getting to 700 subscribers. But anyways, enough said. Let's get into the video. And let's talk about first the Buffalo Bills. And this team had the weirdest offseason I think I've ever seen. I mean, first of all, firing Sean McDermott was the weirdest thing out of the entire offseason in general. But then afterwards, it's like their approach of this offseason was so bizarre. Like, for example, it's like they went and traded for DJ Moore for a second. Obviously, they also got a fifth as well. But then they also just went and lost David Edwards and Teron Johnson. It's like, am I missing something? I'm so confused. I just am. I mean, I don't hate what they did. For example, signing Cushenberry, not re-signing Joey Bosa, I think is a smart move for them. Re-signing Dawson Knox is good. Definitely not bringing back David Edwards, though, was a smart move because you got probably overpaid, in my opinion. But then they also added secondary players like C.J. Gardner-Johnson. I think there was another guy who they added. I can't see any. Anyway, they also added Austin Corlett, who could be a nice guard. They kind of did some nice things. Oh yeah, Geno Stone. They did some nice things to their team. I'm just still confused. You went all in. This is I would say the first time since I would probably say the Stephon Diggs trade that this team legitimately went all in ever. So it's I got a question. And I also got a question, will DJ Moore fix your entire wide receiving problems? Because it's I'm not saying he's bad. And again, Khalil Shakir, I think, is a very good player. And Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox are good tight ends. It's just, my problem is what if one of those wide receivers gets injured? You're kind of back to square one. So that's just my concern. And that's really kind of all I have to say. Overall, I do think this offense is still very good. Defensively, I think this defense is still very, very good. Obviously, they also added Brandon Chubb, which I forgot to mention that, which I think is a decent enough signing. Maybe a bit of an overpay. But I feel like what they did in this offseason is what a team like the Bills should be doing, which is addressing their team and trying to go all in. Which is what this team has lacked for, since Diggs, which is 5-6 years ago? I'm just curious. When was the Stephon Diggs trade to the Bills? When was the Stephon... Yes, I'm typing this in. Stephon Diggs trade to the Bills. March 16th, 2020. That is 6 years ago. Nearly actually, I think by the time I'm recording this could be 6 years and a month ago. But that's the point. I feel like that was the last time they legitimately went all in. And now it feels like they kind of are going all in again, which I think is a very smart move. Also, you still have your first-round draft pick, which you could probably use that to address edge or potential linebacker, corner. They still could do it, probably do something else. But overall, give me an A+. I like the direction that they're going. Yeah, some people are going to say, oh, DJ Moore trade, oh, yada, yada, yada. Joe Brady is familiar with DJ Moore because he was the offensive coordinator for the Panthers when he was actually in his prime. And also, DJ Moore, can we just consider this for a second? He was with Rome Odunze, Luther Burden III, Colston Loveland, and Cole Kmet. And that's not including also DeAndre Swift and Kyle Mungai, who was at running back. He is not a bad receiver. He was just in a crowded room. Now he kind of isn't. He's only with, like, really James Cook, Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, and Dustin Knox. That is a huge difference compared to what it was previously. There's no two running back system, so it's just like James Cook, really. Yeah, there's the two tight end system, but there's no one quite, I feel like, at his level, maybe besides Khalil Shakir. So overall, I really like their approach in this offseason. Then we have the next team on this list, and this team, they were all over the place, and they are not going in the right direction. I'm just going to be completely honest. We got the Miami Dolphins. I love the fact they went and released Tua and, like, Tyreek Hill. They released, there were, like, other players they released too. I think there was a center or someone. Was there a center that they released by any chance? Like a good center? They also don't have Rasul Douglas anymore. I don't see any. So it's just like they did so many weird things in this awesome. Oh yeah, it was Jaden Daniels, I think it was released. Like, what was this offseason? First of all, I'm not hating the Malik Willis signing, right? I think the Malik Willis signing is very, very good. Maybe a bit of an overpay, and maybe you wish it wasn't like a 3-year deal because, again, the Jets had a 2-year deal, and that already didn't pan out. But again, at least it's a 2-year deal. This one, if you want to give up on him immediately, which I doubt they probably will because of how bad their offense is, which I'll show you later. It's just like this team is just horrible. I don't understand their offseason plan. Obviously, I understand trading or cutting Tyreek Hill, but trading Jalen Waddle right afterwards made no sense to me. What is the point of trading Jalen Waddle when you already had a needed wide receiver? Yes, the draft compensation that they got for him, I won't lie, is a lot more than I would give for him. But why trade him away when now your number one receiver heading in to the draft is Tutu Atwell, who is 5'9" or 5'8" or something, and Jalen Tolbert? What is that? Like, your receiving core now is completely garbage. Like, the only offensive playmaker you have on this team now is Devon Achane, which I'm not going to say is horrible, because guess what? Devon Achane's a great running back. I think he's could honestly potentially be a top 10 running back who's just in a better freaking offense. I just wish that this team could actually build around Malik Willis and not just have him there to tank and then get a good quarterback. They're doing what the Jets are doing right now, but worse, because guess what? You signed Malik Willis to way more money than what the Jets are probably doing with Geno Smith right now. So it's just kind of ridiculous to me. So undeniably dumb what they're doing. Just my personal opinion. Like, seriously, what have they actually done to improve this roster? I like seriously. Let's go down the list here. Oh, they signed David Ojabo. Oh, they signed Josh Uche. Oh, those are just big players that are going to make big adjustments to their team. Like, you see what I mean? It's like this team just did nothing well. Like, I'm fine with them signing Malik Willis. We all knew this was coming. But it's what they did afterwards was kind of frustrating. Like, why trade Jalen Waddle? I don't get it. And also, I gotta discuss the elephant in the room. Why trade Minka Fitzpatrick for a 7th-round draft pick? I just gotta be real with you. If you were gonna trade him a year later from the trade that they had, just get Jonnu Smith and sign him to a dang contract. Because at least your offense would make now more sense of why would you trade Jalen Waddle. Because at least Malik Willis has a freaking pass catcher to give to. Now, I'm not saying this team was going to contend next year. I'm not saying that, right? This team, I think, with or without Jalen Waddle, they were probably going to be the worst, second worst team, I think, in the AFC East, which I'll talk about who probably will be the worst later. But their offseason was so confusing. And don't even get me started on what they could use on this team. Obviously, wide receiver. They could use tight end. I do think their offensive line is quite solid. I like Jameer Slater. Their guard that they drafted last year, Aaron Bruner, is a good center. Austin Jackson, Patrick Paul, or whatever, tackle. And then their defense. Outside of their front four, everything is a need. I am not kidding. They could use linebacking depth. They could use any corners. Like, their best corner right now, I think, is Darrell Baker Jr., who they signed in free agency. Who is that? And their safeties are Darnell Trader Jr. and Lonnie Johnson Jr. Who are those people? Ask me. I don't know who they are. The only reason why I know one of these secondary players is Zany Anderson, when they signed it, is because, spoiler alert, he was on the Packers. Of course I'm going to know him. That's the only guy I freaking know in that secondary. And you didn't add anybody on the secondary so that Darnell Baker Jr., who is not that great, may I add. Just so confusing. I don't get it. Overall, I think I'm going to give them a D-. Like, I feel like their direction is understandable. It's just I hate that they traded Jalen Waddle. And I hate that they didn't really get anybody to replace him either. Like, what? You expecting Jalen Tolbert and Tutu Atwell to make a replacement? I don't think that's going to happen. Tutu Atwell is a slot receiver at best. At best. Just, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, if you paid me $1,000, I wouldn't fully understand what the heck they're doing in this offseason. It's because it's like, okay, they kind of want to open their playoff window not this year, but next year. And now it's like, okay, now they're just rebuilding. It's just like, what the frick is this team doing? Then the next team, on the other hand, a way better football team. In fact, they actually made it to a Super Bowl. They have the New England Patriots. This team is, I think, also had a pretty good offseason. I mean, Demontre Jones, I think, was a bit of an overpay. Like, this guy, the last time he got a big contract, and spoiler alert, I was a Seahawks fan. He went to the Seahawks. That did not work out. So why did you think that this could even be better? I mean, Mike Vrabel, I won't deny, is a great head coach, but still a little concerned with that. Kevin Byard was a good signing, too. Get some veteran experience in there. I liked it, a lot of those moves. Elijah Vera Tucker signing was very good. Romeo Dobbs as well was a good signing. I also love the fact that they cut Stephon Diggs. I freaking hate him as a person. I don't hate him as a player, but I just hate him as a person, which is why I'm so happy that he's gone. Like, they did lose a couple players, like Kayvon Chase Young, who had a really good season last year. It was kind of unfortunate. And then Garrett Bradbury. But outside of that, they didn't really lose much in the offseason, I would really say. But overall, I really like their direction. And they are in rumors of trading A.J. Brown, which, honestly, with the whole storyline and stuff of what's going on with A.J. Brown and whole that tabaka, I have no idea if he's getting traded or not. No idea. But, obviously, the part that I'm concerned with is this team really didn't, like, go and say, you know, we just won a Super Bowl, or, well, made it to a Super Bowl, we didn't win it. Let's just go all in and try to actually win a Super Bowl. They didn't really do that. Like, they kind of lost a few players, and they didn't really gain much. I mean, they did, but it was kind of mainly replacing players. So that's just kind of what they did. It's kind of upsetting. And overall, I think they still could use wide receiver. They may consider looking at tackle just because of how that Super Bowl went, may I add, because their tackles were getting destroyed. Defensively, they could use some pass rush. I think that was definitely one of the biggest problems. I still think so, despite the signing of Demontre Jones. But I don't like that's kind of about it. So I think overall, I'm going to give them a B. Wish they were more aggressive, but overall, still a very good offseason for New England. I think this was not a horrible offseason for them. Then we have the last team on this list, and I absolutely love the direction that they're going. It is the New York Jets, and I love the direction that they're going to. Like, first of all, they did not sign anybody major in the offseason. That's a good job. I mean, outside of maybe DeMario Davis, which that might just be like a retirement tour for him because I think he ended up on the Jets when he got drafted or signed or whatever. But I just love what they did in the offseason. I mean, like, yeah, are they going to contend for a Super Bowl this year? No. In fact, they probably will be one of the worst teams this year. I'm just going to be honest. But I don't hate what they did. They, like, slowly got better in the offseason. First of all, Minka Fitzpatrick. I don't know how you got a 7th-round pick for him, but hey, good job. I also like the Nashawn Wright signing. Corner from Chicago. He was a baller there. Kingsley and Akbari, nice depth pass rusher. Like, you see what I mean? It's like they're not signing like big players, but I also traded for Devontae Sweat for Jermaine Johnson, which I think was kind of nice. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like this team, slowly kind of got better. The only thing I kind of do have to complain is why did you sign Joseph Ossie? Like, why? I understand like why they traded for Geno Smith because they wanted to tank, even though Aaron Glenn has that hilarious video saying, "Oh, he's gonna take us to the promised land" and stuff like that. Justin Fields obviously got traded. That was very understandable. Like, you know what I mean? I really liked what they did. Like, yes, I don't think they're gonna contend this year. I don't care if they got freaking Jesus Christ and freaking what is his name? Gabriel from the Bible? Those guys on their team, on offense and defense, or just defense in general, they're not going to play well this year. Okay, maybe with Jesus, they may actually go undefeated. But you get the point. The point is that this team is just not going to do well this year. But I like what they did. Like, they got slowly better in the offseason. And 2, they kind of made it like, okay, they're going to tank this year, which I think is a very smart thing to do. Now, all I just hope for them to do is, 1, is to tank properly, and 2, to fire Aaron Glenn next year. That is the 2 things I hope for the Jets to do. So they might have, like, if this team gets like a quarterback in there and hit on these 2 draft picks, which are probably going to be on defense, I think, this team is going to be disgusting. Like, if they hit at quarterback and then those 2 defensive picks in the next 2 years, this team, and I think the next 3 to 5 years, I know this might sound crazy, could legitimately contend for a playoffs, if not the Super Bowl. Let me say this again, if they hit on their 2 first-round draft picks, and I guess also 2 second-round draft picks, and they hit on their 3 first-round picks and your second-round picks next year, then this team is going to be in the playoffs, if not the Super Bowl. Because they already have some talent there, like Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor, Olfewin Fugashinu, Amara Membu, Joe Tippmann, Tavondre Sweat, Will McDonald, Andre Sisco, Minka Fitzpatrick. Like, you see what I mean? They got some talent there. That's why I think overall I gotta give them an A. The only signing I didn't really like about this team, which is why it's not an A+, is the Joseph Ossie signing. That was just not a good signing. I was trying to just overpay. Because you're basically what this is you're paying him same amount of money as Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb, I would rather take miles better over Joseph Ossie. Even if Bradley Chubb is probably more injury prone. But anyways, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. And I'll see you guys all on the other side. And have a good day. Deuces.